Hello, and welcome to The Other N-Word. Today, I want to talk about a concept in narcissistic abuse that I call trading places. This is a nightmarish scenario in which the narcissist bumps you down into a lower status situation while elevating themselves. This is reserved for scenarios in which you have been in a much better financial situation than the narcissist when you met, but in the final aftermath, the narcissist stole money, real estate, businesses, status, and so on and so forth. Today, I will discuss this very serious matter and what can and should be done to deal with this. When you met the narcissist, you may have fallen in love for the first time, and if not for the first time, it was certainly a type of intensity that you craved. You felt heard and seen. You did not want this to ever be over. The narcissist made you feel that you want to protect them, love them, and supply them with everything you have. This is because not knowingly you have entered the shared fantasy. This is quite literally an addiction response. It changes you in real time. Little by little, you start making life decisions that are not authentically yours. Many of us were exposed to the toxic dynamics between a narcissistic, controlling parent and a people-pleaser, codependent parent. If you have found yourself wanting to protect the abused, people-pleasing parent, while at the same time trying to get the approval of the abusive, narcissistic parent, you may have developed what I call psychological cloning, a kind of copying response that happens subconsciously. In other words, you become more like the parent you loved more, the one that was abused. Fundamentally, having this kind of psychological blueprint makes you not only extremely vulnerable to the possibility of ending up with a narcissistic partner, but also may dictate a far worse level of damage and loss in the aftermath of such a relationship. Interestingly, it is actually common in such families of origin to have siblings that may develop opposite responses to childhood trauma. As adults, one sibling turns codependent, while the other a narcissist. In the most simplified way, it may help think about this counterintuitive concept as follows. The codependent becomes who they are in order to heal the relationship with the rejecting parent, represented by the narcissist partner, while the narcissist grows up with the desire to separate and reject the abusive parent, represented by the codependent partner. In both cases, this works as a sort of post-traumatic response to childhood events. Narcissists are weak and opportunistic group. While not always ending up with a codependent partner, their predatory senses lock on someone that is eager and desperate to please, for the simple reason that they understand that it's much more likely that they can abuse and exploit you, and you'll stay with them regardless. If you also supply some things they want, it will create the perfect storm and they will partner with you. However, while you are floating on cloud nine, they analyze the things you provide, and the things you provide are what they are after. In some cases, even cases that end up in trading places, it may not even be about money or status at first. When it comes to narcissistic supply, this could mean many things such as a place to live, connections that they can use, your family's support, your talent that can be used to bring to life a project they are interested in, or placing you in a triangulation against a soon-to-be ex-partner, and much more. Narcissists are like vampires in the movies. As long as you don't invite them in, they can't hurt you as much, or at all. Once they are given control and partner with you, that freedom and trust that you give them is the very thing that allows them to have this devastating Trojan horse parasitic effect. So how does one prevent entanglement with a narcissist and the possibility of a worst-case scenario? By understanding that this was never about the narcissist in the first place. The real question is, why would you give your power away? Why let someone else control the narrative of your life? We cannot change or heal the narcissist back into health or into a genuinely loving and caring person. It just isn't going to happen. But what we can do is own our lives. Never give someone complete power over you. It doesn't matter if it's your wife, husband, or even an adult child or a parent. We often hear about people who get married and insist on prenup, or someone putting their career at a higher priority than a romantic relationship. These types of people fall into the category of normal, with healthy boundaries. Love does not equal letting someone compromise you and exploit you. People that truly care about you would never take actions that reduce the quality of your life. Healthy relationships are safe. In order for trading places to happen, you will be in a mutual business situation with the narcissist. It could mean things such as divorce, having a narcissistic business partner, narcissistic sibling or family member in an inheritance situation, and other scenarios in which there's a financial entanglement with a narcissist. One of the challenges, especially in a marriage, is that in many cases we don't know that we are actually married to a narcissist. This could be a result of being deep inside the shared fantasy, lack of knowledge, having a covert narcissist for a partner, which makes it harder to spot, or any kind of combination of all these things. We must always be aware of our boundaries being breached. So, simply, if the other person starts to do things that push us into a corner, ignore our rights, hurt us in any way, and as you try to negotiate, you encounter a hostile response. That is the moment when you know that this person, whether a full-fledged narcissist or not, does not have your best interest at heart. In a situation like that, you need to stop all negotiation and communication with the narcissist and involve a good attorney, which is not always easy to find, and at the same time, a family member or a close friend that can help you see things objectively. Once the first signs of betrayal show up, you may be so overwhelmed and emotionally reactive, it'll make it very difficult to make sound decisions. You must try to postpone your intense emotions, as difficult as it may seem. Right now, this is not the time to analyze the narcissist, try to heal the connection, or do anything but think about the next season of your life. You see, as I said before, this is not about the narcissist. A breach of boundaries should be like a loud fire alarm going off. People with healthy boundaries naturally will reject narcissists from entering their lives. On the other hand, people pleasers and people with codependent tendencies have somewhat muted alarm systems. This needs to be reset in order to keep our sanity and safety. You must understand, this can be a life or death situation. If you do have mutual financial interests with a true narcissist, they will try to take everything from you and destroy you. This is not pleasant to hear, but I have put this information forward in order for you to understand that once in such a predicament, this is nothing less than war. And if you don't feel like fighting, fight anyway, just not directly with the narcissist. After you have recognized the following: a breach of boundaries, lack of true empathy towards you, and zero ability to negotiate peacefully, you need to stop direct communication with the narcissist at once. At this point, try to remain calm and 100% non-reactive. The narcissist can hurt the most the more they push you into being shaken, reactive, and stressed out. Gather all the info, documents, statements, emails, texts, and such. Think of a narcissist as a bully, which they are. The more you show them fear, the more they feel empowered. After that, you can try to resolve things with the help of third parties. However, depending on the severity of the situation, you may want to just go to court. The reason for that is that any agreement that you reach with the narcissist outside of court, including one using third parties, would be possibly something that you were bullied to sign, and therefore you will regret the result. Or the narcissist just signs an agreement and then comes up with some insane story, and will take you to court anyway. Remember, narcissists are criminals. Some of them have psychopathic traits and will stop at nothing. They also don't have empathy, which makes them dangerous to deal with. They don't really see you or your needs. Sadly, you may project your own loving, loyal nature onto them, but they are not you. They do not experience reality as a normal person. They make their own reality and try to convince people in their false narratives. Criminals, much like vampires, don't like to be exposed. Therefore, exposing them for their crimes is exactly what you need to do. No need to give them mental health diagnosis. The court doesn't care unless it comes from a mental health expert, and besides, catching and exposing their crimes will be easier and more effective. But you need to do this in court where it actually matters and will take the power out of their hands. There's no need to go around and convince everyone that they are a narcissist. In reality, many people will not believe you and may see you in a negative light instead of the narcissist. If you go to court, just try to present your case calmly. Calling them out as a narcissist would not be a great idea, because from the perspective of the court, you are not qualified to make such assessments. Besides, why medicalize or give the court excuses for their behaviors? When it comes to such a difficult entanglement, just do your best in court. Even if they will be able to convince the court with some lies, at least you will know that you have done your best. Trust me, if you will be bullied to give up more than you want outside of court, later you will also have to deal with difficult feelings of guilt and shame. We are here to minimize the damage. Always remind yourself, this is about the next season of your life and not about the narcissist. If you have already been hurt and violated by such a situation, just work on self-forgiveness and create new life outside this trauma. Remember that many people throughout history suffered tremendous amounts of loss and were able to move on. We can even say that life gave you an opportunity to understand what it is about yourself that attracted and stayed in this type of situation. Of course, this understanding must come with self-compassion and not self-hatred. There are many people and situations that are healthy. Choose healthy. We must close the door to narcissistic abuse. The policy is zero tolerance to such people from this point on. They do not have a space in your life anymore.